So I'm driving and I'm just going to babble and just talk on something that's important to me. So my entire experience on Instagram, social media, and everything in general is just like a never-ending experiment of trying to have the courage to not give any care whatsoever to what people think of me, as long as I'm being authentic to myself and doing what I love and doing it in a way that I'm happy with it and that makes me feel powerful and fulfilled, and just trying to essentially influence the creation of this caricature or this construct that of me that exists within other people's minds, because we are 100% creating our own reality, like 100%, but it gets tricky. And something that I've found just in my experiences with this is, because while we are creating our own reality, so is every single person around us. And I only exist within my own creation, like me, the true me, the real me, the me that I know as the creation. Like, it only exists in my creation of reality. Like, you know me or you see me, but like, you don't know me. I'm simply like a figment of your imagination. Like if you what you think you know of me, it's only a construct of what you have formed of me. And if you didn't even know who I was, I wouldn't exist to you. I am literally a creation in your mind, as you are a creation in my mind once I become aware of you. And this is where it gets tricky, because once we are aware of our own image being reflected back to us, we are pattern recognition machines. So the more consensus that we run into from others when meeting their creation of us, if it doesn't match with who we are, then we are subject to just, falling to their version of us. And I think that's why it's so important to have visual media, and, TV, Hollywood are so important. They want us watching creations in which we have no role as the creator. They want to feed us that Christ journey, that archetype where you rise, that King Arthur's tale where you rise and you acquire power and you transcend, you ascend into a higher, just a higher, destiny. But then, like, what Hollywood does is they just immediate downfall, immediate. So like the path to ascension is always the path to damnation and collapse. There's never a good king reign. They want to keep you fearful from acquiring and just achieving your true purpose. And then what happens is, once you become just that little bit of fear where you're afraid to create what you're truly supposed to be, live in that timelessness and do the things that you're put here to do, because you're like, oh, maybe I'm not as good at that yet as I'd like to be. Well, I mean, the only miracle that you're not seeing is time is irrelevant. If you love something and you apply yourself to it, at some point you're always going to be good at it, because you don't need dedication. You don't need any of the motivation. You're just going to do it no matter what, and you're always going to be better. So, oh my God, it's so easy to get off a train of thought, especially while driving. But if you're authentic, you're automatically going to experience that journey. And the beautiful thing about that is, because these things that we do where we take the focus away on time is the ego. Like, when you're fearful and you're in an adrenalized state, there's only ego. There is only time. You're only worried about your own survival. Time stretches into infinity. It's essentially your own damnation. So avoid fear, be brave, be courageous, and do the things that make time disappear, and you'll always be rewarded, because it takes away your ego. Like, when I do things where I'm timeless, I'm not focused on me at all. I'm focused on the task at hand, and it's beautiful. And then what happens is the creation becomes you, and then the creation also becomes the caricature, the figment of you in the imagination of the person you share it with. So then over time, your true self starts matching with the creation reflected back on you. And the little pattern recognition machine in here, especially just from watching yourself do something that you're so passionate about, and then seeing it reflected back to you and others, it's going to strengthen your powers of creation. So I think that's what we run into. A lot of times, we have this suspicion we're better at things, or maybe we deserve more, or we're more powerful than we give ourselves credit for. And then we interact with people, but we haven't put that time in. Like, we've been so focused on the fear of what others think of us. We're in that adrenalized state, that ego state. We're in that constant stretched out time of worry and just what's not best. And what's going to happen is you're more susceptible to the programming of the reality that is being reflected back to you. You are then in control of the reality of others. It's no different than like outsourcing your fear and consciousness to the news, media, and culture, or, you know, just the cult of culture. Like, you're no different than a Kool-Aid drinking. Like, you just have to be yourself. Like, you should not care what others think about you as long as you are a good person. And the only question about that is just do no harm. You're not harming anyone. So why would you ever care what anyone thinks about you as long as you are causing no harm? If people aren't like thinking you're wonderful, but you're like, I don't get it. I'm good, and I know I'm not hurting anyone, and I think I'm doing. Just keep doing it. You're just around the wrong people. Like, manifest some new people into your life. Be brave. Share yourself more, and the right type of people will be drawn to you. I mean, courage is always rewarded. Cowardice is always punished. I mean, like, we can pretend it's not, but the safe road is literally right off the side of a cliff. Only lemmings take the safe road. Like, I don't know. We're creating this, you're creating this, I'm creating this. Just recognize it. I don't know, 100%. This is all a creation. Like, I know it is. I don't know. You're definitely not experiencing the same reality that I am. It's completely unique to me. I'm not experiencing the same reality that you are. It's completely unique to you. We are completely in separate dimensions. Every person, I mean, you want to talk about multi-dimensionality. Every person you interact with is essentially, it's trans-dimensional, because that entire existence has almost no relevance. It's related, but it has almost no relevance to the existence in which, you know, your mind functions and your mind works. It's truly just the multidimensionality. I mean, it's not just it's everything. Multidimensionality of everything. Every single thing you experience is having a totally different reality than which you experience. It's just, we're all our own creation. We're all creating our own creation, and then basically it just matches up with the other powerful pattern recognition machines that generate and create reality, and then consensus wins because pattern recognition. So just make your pattern more strong and more true to yourself, and just brave patterns. Just, I don't know, bravery always wins. Even if you lose when you're brave, you know, there is no such thing as failure. Endings, you know, not everything goes forever, you know. Some things make mistakes, some things fail. We're not eternal, well, at least in this iteration of ourselves, but I don't know. There's so much more than we're so much more than meat vehicles. So I don't know. I go into timelessness every night in between dreams, like that dark unawareness. Like, I don't know. Every day is a practice death in this creation of our own reality. Blah blah blah. 8 minutes. I have no idea where the fuck I'm gonna post this.